we turn to the Yorkshire countryside for inspiration. The rugged hills and farmland are actually responsible for creating several homegrown world champions. Paul can't claim to be one, but he has been known to enjoy a weekend of motorcycle trials. Precision riding, with points for not putting your foot down.
It's quite nasty and it bottoms out on a route there.
Back in the early 80s, if you were still at primary school like 12 times world champion Dougie Lampkin, you may well have wanted one of these. It's a Yamaha TY80, and we fancy it for our second project. Resident bike expert Sutty has come to have a look.
Nice little bike. Very popular in the day. It's like a proper motorbike, not a twist and go like some of them are. You know, it's got gears, it's got a clutch. A little bit on the tatty side, but it will live. If this is restored, it'll look lovely.
Is it worth serving?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there will be collector's bikes eventually. I mean, they are now up to a point. If I'd had this when I was a little lad, I'd been over the moon.
This off-road only 1982 model may not have indicators or brake lights, but it does come with a letter from the current owner.
TY80. I've had it since new. It was bought for me by my parents as an 18th birthday present in 1982. Well, that's fantastic, isn't it? Isn't that lovely? Look at that. Brilliant bit of kit. Where are we going to be on that? You tell me. £800 we've got. 825 with Ollie down there at 825. 850.
Yes, please.
875.
Yeah.
875. £900 and 25 at 925. It's on sale. Hammer's coming down at £925. 925. Oh,
Yeah.
925. Oh,
We bought a little bike.
We've decided to send our Yammy to some true enthusiasts. Adrian and Bob Dawson, based in Pocklington near York, have raced sidecars for years and restored countless classic bikes.
Oh, yeah, very good.
They're also very familiar with the TY80.
Oh, it fits on there a treat, doesn't it?
It was every farmer's kid's dream, wasn't it, to have a little TY80. There's probably not very many that have survived because most of them will be upside down in a ditch somewhere.
Or the back of a barn, rotting away.
Yeah. The beauty of this one is it's kind of all there.
Yeah.
You know, if there was loads of bits missing off it, then that's when it becomes a bit trickier. But although some of it's a bit rusty and a bit manky, it's all savable by the look of it.
We want this iconic little machine to look good, but it's unlikely we'd ever recoup the costs of making it pristine.
We could try and do like a halfway house on it, get the frame powder coated, but touch that in, do the mud guards and get the tank painted.
The wheel rims might
With a
clean
bit of
up little
polish,
bit.
you could get rid of a lot of that because it is just surface. The forks, you won't get them back. You know, the reason that's gone is because the corrosion's got under the lacquer.
This bike was apparently only ridden for 1 year and then put away in a shed. So the first task is to check out the engine.
Just making a little bit of two-stroke mix, so 50 parts petrol to 1 part oil. So in a litre, there's 20 mils of two-stroke oil.
Adrian, if you were a betting man, is it going to run?
Yeah, let's say yes. Why not?
OK. Your dad's got a tenner on it starting...
I'd have maybe quite liked to have had a look to see if there's a spark first, but...
We're gonna live dangerously.
We're going to just go for it, are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we probably need to check for a spark.
Yeah.
Which is probably what we should have done to start with.
So we're taking the spark plug out, and then we're going to lay it on the top of the cylinder head and see if... kick it over again.
We just got a bit giddy.
We?
Aye.
So now we're going to plug it back into the suppressor cap, lay it on the top of the cylinder head. No. No, there's no spark. So we're trying a new plug now, just in case that plug's a bit duff. Oh yes, there is one.
Excellent.
First kick.
Fantastic.
I think that's a bit of a result, really.
A bit of a success story, that, yeah.
A £5 spark plug and a quick change of the gearbox oil.
It actually looks very clean.
And this pocket rocket is off round the garden.
That sounds well, doesn't it? Sounds really, really good, does that. Considering it probably hasn't been used since 1983, it's still doing that.
This is looking like a very manageable restoration. In Lancashire, Baz is making good progress, restoring the sills of our 26-year-old Paul Smith Mini, which gives us an opportunity to enjoy some craftsmanship rooted in the 1800s. Our seats are looking a bit tired, so we've taken them to Stephen Merritt in Cheshire, who trained with Connolly Leather. Their hides graced everything, from wartime Spitfires to Aston Martins and Rolls-Royces.
We were fortunate that when we left Connolly's back in '88 to set up on our own, that they gave us the exclusive franchise. And we were proud of that. Connolly's were the most prestigious tannery in the world, and we wanted to try and preserve their leather.
Stephen has seen some right basket cases come through here.
They aren't too bad. It's just as typical with black leather, it goes a little bit shiny, particularly if you've got textured leather. The colonising process is essentially repeating the final colouring stages that the hide went through in its early stages.
So we're going to be literally repainting the seats, and the process starts with soap and water.
With leather, being a skin, you'll find that hot water opens the pores, cold water closes it. So by giving it a nice hot soapy wash, a lot of the time it will soften the finishes and soften the leather. On this interior, you've got just leather facings. All the side borders and all the backs are all vinyl. Your piping's all vinyl. There's nothing new here. This was a way of saving money.
Next up, a degreaser.
What we're aiming to do is remove kind of any build-up of any products, any conditioning creams or oils or whatever, or just surface dirt and grease over the years that the initial soap and water didn't remove.
Just like any other respray, masking is another important part of the process.
I don't really want to be colouring plastic because I don't know how well we're going to adhere, and I don't know potentially whether over time it could come off onto someone's clothing. So let's not take any chances, let's just get it all masked off.
When it comes to the painting, overdoing it is the schoolboy error.
You want all your grain structure still visible. All those creases are telling a story of the life of this car.
Finally, a matte emulsion, so the leather matches the finish of the vinyl. Stephen now just needs to work his magic on the other seat. Back with our pint-sized Yamaha near York, Bob and his dad Adrian are now ready to take some bits off it.
I think the first thing to do is to get the seat and the tank off and the mud guards. We're going to have a little go at straightening this exhaust because I'm pretty sure that should be sort of level there. I think someone's flipped it over backwards and given it a bit of a dink on the back end. The plan is to get most of the bits and pieces off that we're going to either change or have a go at cleaning up.
Seat's in good nick. It just needs a bit of a clean and that'll go back on again.
As for the exhaust pipe, that probably just needs a bit of brute force.
We're hoping to put a big bar on here, a scaffold pole is what we've got. And then we're going to apply some pressure and just see how easy it is to straighten it back to where we think it might have been before.
The big bar's not big enough.
Ooh, that's definitely moved a bit. That might have done it actually, Bob. That's clear of the wheel now, clear of the tyre going up and down. That's all right, isn't it?
Well, I think it's a lot better than it was.
The tiny front forks on this beginner's bike are badly corroded, so they'll be swapped for new.
Everything does feel very toy-sized, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it's still a proper bit of machinery.
It's a very good replica of the larger versions, that is for sure. We've done a good job of just scaling it down.
That's coming out quite nicely.
Yeah. Quite often with these little off-road bikes, they end up getting water and muck in them.
Aye.
It sounds like there's a bit of oil in there.
Yeah. Well, if that oil's 40 years old, actually that's not too bad, I wouldn't have thought.
For this bike, Adrian is keen to do just the right amount of work on it. Not usually our skill set.
The plan with the frame was to try and touch in the silver rather than getting it completely blasted and powder coated, which obviously means a complete strip down. The barrel and the head on the engine are a bit of a mess. The barrel particularly is quite rusty. Be nice if we could get that painted black, which is what it will have been initially.
We've got the tyres off. We're just sort of thinking about vapour blasting the wheels.
It sounds severe, but this process is actually quite low impact on both our rims and the environment.
So it's a mixture of like pumping water with glass beads in it and compressed air. The water lubricates the glass beads so it's not as invasive as normal shot blasting. So you see how it's not like disturbing the chrome, but it's taking the sort of pitted bits off. So I think that's probably going to work if we just kind of tickle it up basically. And I think it'll give us a lot nicer wheel at the end of it. Not bad. We've still got chrome. It's very hard to see when you get going through the glass, so there's a few of the spokes that maybe just want a little bit more, but yeah, overall, quite happy with that.
Just outside York, our Yamaha TY80 has now had its frame painted and is ready for reassembly. Bob has cleaned and reconditioned many of the original parts, but there's also a few new bits.
So we're just going to put these front forks in. I think that's probably the first little job. Just got to take that top bolt off and then slide this in here. Yeah, it is a fair few months ago since we took it all apart. Well, we've been waiting for various bits and pieces, so it's remembering where everything goes.
Other jobs are a bit more familiar, like with an old school bicycle.
Got a nice new rim tape. Well, I've got new everything really, because the old ones were not very nice. You see here you've got like your little nuts that come through from the end of these spokes. That just stops the inner tube being able to be punctured by those basically. And then I've got a nice new front tyre. That is tyre soap, so it just helps it sit on the rim and makes it a bit easier to put on. So we just sort of get it halfway on like that and then fit the new tube in. So yeah, we've just got to like feed it in. And then the favourite bit's always trying to get this valve in here and see if you can snap your fingers off in the process.
It's a chunky tyre on this bike though, so no plastic levers here.
And this just spins it on. As easy as that.
Adrian has ordered new mudguards because they were a bit rough as well.
Yeah,
Oh, they do look better, don't they?
I'll hold it if you like.
I'm going to scratch it. It's definitely a fiddly little job, yeah. But, you know, we like fiddly little jobs. We've got the cable to the drum brake at the front, so it's just a case of getting it to the right adjustment, so it's pulling it enough to activate the brake. That's close to where it was.
Yeah, that don't feel bad actually.
This bike was designed to be scraped over rocks, dragged through mud and generally abused by anyone under the height of 5 foot. And that's probably what's going to happen in the future. So this project was all about doing a thorough overhaul, but not going mad with it.
But yeah, it looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely a different bike to what rolled in.
Some probably child is going to get themselves a right good little thing out of it to rudge around a farm on or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a great little machine, but as for Adrian's son, he might be better off with something a bit more full size. As for the money, including tax and commission, we bought our little Yammy for £1,036. Labour was £1,200. and parts were 890, bringing the total to a fairly restrained £3,126. Back at Matthewson's, it's like a wheelie down memory lane for Paul.
Oh, little TY, look. Yeah, brilliant little thing. They're iconic, mate, aren't they? They were certainly your first proper trials bike. I had one for Charlie, and generally speaking, if you go back far enough, if you started off and got one of them, you then continued on the trials stroke motorbike path forever. Be up. Look at that, brilliant, isn't it? Plenty of smoke, we like a bit of smoke. Tell you what, it runs well, doesn't it? What a little sweetie that is, isn't it? I'm assuming we've painted tank, mudguards, the white bits, have you? Anyway, that's great, is that? Well done. Is that off?
That's off.
It's like Christmas all at once, isn't it?
Maybe. We'll see how much it sells for.
Yamaha TY80. Oh, what a lovely, lovely little bike this is.
Current bid is already more than I bought it for. I spotted it and I knew.
It's had some restoration work. It's come back looking lovely. A load of fun. So there you go. We got interested with me with 1,000, 11, 12, 13, 14, £1,500 there at £1,500. Mark was first, 1,600.
Oh, John, there's a frenzy.
1,800 says Alan, 1,819 says Mark, 2,000 says Jack, 2,1 says Mark, at £2,100 then.
Oh, it's doing well.
On the telephone.
I know.
At 2,100, 2,2 says Alan, at 2,200 then. Alan on the phone there, 2,3 says Jack, 2,4 says Mark, 2,425 says Jack, and 50. At £2,550 then for the first, for the second, for the third and last time, Mark on the telephone.
Woo!
Well done. Well done.
There you go.
A bit of a loss, but probably about £1,000 more than they usually sell for. Paul's pleased.
We've sold the TY80.
We have.
How do you think we've done?
Well, fantastic, wasn't I? Yeah, no, you've sold the TY80 and I thought it did very well. You did a sympathetic restoration, didn't you? So I think that was the right call on that bike.
A new owner, West Country farmer Phil Holt, also did all right out of it. 30 years ago, he bought one for his son Kevin, and now, having snapped up ours, his grandson Eddie will be riding the same machine around his fields in Devon.